Google Day is one of the global events. It's being celebrated in different countries. I think today also it is in Sri Lanka and one more country. It is organized by Google Business Group Kathmandu, and the main aim of the event is again to bring together all of you so that we can learn these technologies and see how it can benefit all of us. So on behalf of GBG Kathmandu, we are very thankful to you for your presence and we welcome you for the event. Without taking any further time, I would like to hand it over to Mr. Chandan so that we can start the sessions. Thank you so much.
We would like to welcome Ms. Erika Hansen for her presentation.
Let's have big applause for her.
Hi everyone, how are you? Good. Thank you for coming today. And welcome to the first GDay event in Kathmandu. It's the first time, so let's give a round of applause for that. And Amit and his team, they've done an amazing job. So I'm very happy to be here. I've never been to Nepal before. It's my first time, so I'm going to take a tour of Kathmandu tomorrow. I'm excited. So I'm based in Singapore. And I'll first talk a bit about myself and the team that I'm on. I'm on the developer relations team. So I'll give you a bit of background and talk about the different programs that our team is running. And then I'll also talk about material design as well. So I'm on Google+. How many of you guys use Google+? Okay, that's good. It's okay if you use Facebook as well, but as long as you're also using Google+, that's good. So I've been at Google for 8 years. I started in Mountain View. That's our headquarters in California. And originally I was working with small to medium-sized businesses and I answered the phones. This was the only number you can call at Google. And they would call me and a bunch of other people. And basically I just answered any question they had about how to get their business online, how to do advertising with Google. And then I was in our San Francisco office working with digital marketing agencies, helping them with their strategy. And then I was in London for 3 years, and I was on the sales strategy and operations team. A couple other things. In London, I volunteered at Campus London. It's basically a tech hub that Google built. And it's a free co-working space for startups. And I managed the mentoring program, so we would connect Google mentors with an expertise in a specific Google technology, and we'd connect them with tech startups every Friday. So every Friday a startup can come and talk to a Googler for 30 minutes. And one of my favorite quotes is that entrepreneurship is contagious. People who know more entrepreneurs are likely to become more entrepreneurs. So I really felt that energy at campus, and it made me want to also start my own business. So that's my goal. Don't tell my manager I said that, but that's my ultimate goal. So this is my team, my global team. There's about 45 of us. Our team is actually focused more on developers. I'm personally focused on the Google Business Groups program and more on entrepreneurs and people with business marketing backgrounds. But my team as a whole is very much focused on developers and designers, and we really want to help developers and designers create high-quality apps for the Google Play Store and for millions of users. So that's what we're focused on. I'll talk about the first one is the Google Developer Groups. So basically, these are communities. They're run by volunteers, and basically a Google developer group, they'll have multiple meetups and they'll talk about specific types of Google technology. The content is more technical. They'll talk about Polymer, how to build apps for Android Wear. So if you're a developer, I encourage you to join Google developer groups. There's 530 groups globally, and over 100 countries, you can see, and there's quite a few in Southeast Asia. So that's Google Developer Groups. The program I'm focused on is Google Business Groups, and today we're here. This is a Google Business Group event, and basically we have 108 groups globally, and 66 of those groups are in Southeast Asia. And we have 22 communities in Philippines, 7 in Indonesia, 1 now in Kathmandu is the first one in Nepal. So we have a lot, which is really exciting, and I'm biased, but I'd say the most passionate group of people is in our region, so it's very exciting. We cover 30 countries, and we've collected a lot of success stories. Well, I'll talk more about the GBG Success Stories contest later, but that's the Google Business Groups. It's a global movement, and basically the idea is getting entrepreneurs, business owners together to learn about Google technology. All the sessions are free, and you have regular meetups, days like this, where you just learn basically about technology and also Google technology. It's not always all about Google. It's also about sharing people's success stories and learning from other people. We also have Women Tech Makers. So it's a series of events, and it's also a speaker series. So there have been various Women Tech Makers events where you'll hear from women, very successful female developers, and they'll share their stories, women who are building robots. Really the idea is to inspire other women to start coding and to have basically role models. So it's a series of events, and there's going to be more next year as well. And we also have there's a YouTube channel and speaker series as well. So you'll hear more about this in the future. And one Women Tech Makers event we recently ran in Malaysia. It was actually run by our Google Business Group Manager, and it was basically it was a design sprint and a hackathon for Android Wear. So it was there was about 40% women in the room, and they were building apps for Android Wear and came up with some really cool ones. One of them, I don't know if this is a problem for you, but sometimes people can't find their car if they park it in a big car park, so they developed an app to help you locate your car. So there were some really cool apps that came from it. Sports notification app to find out sports scores. So there were some really cool apps that came from this. So these are also some of the types of events that the Women Tech Makers communities are putting together. And the last program I wanted to share was the Google Developer Experts. So we have, basically they're GDEs. They're very, very technical experts, and they speak on behalf of Google at various events about very technical topics. Apps, APIs, HTML5, all technical topics. We have over 100 globally. We have one in Malaysia, quite a few in India, one in Singapore. So this is another program that our team is focused on. So if any of you are interested in applying for this or are very technical, please come talk to me as well. We're looking for more Google developer experts, and we'd love to have one from Nepal as well. And what we're doing with startups, Startup Launch is one of the programs that we run. Basically, we're really starting to focus more on the startup community and providing content. We're focused quite a bit on developers, but we also have other content that's relevant for everybody else. So the idea is to help you start, build, and grow your startup. So we have a website. I'll share the link in a moment. But basically, you'll get online resources. We have a playbook for startups that talks about design. Pardon? Oh, you printed it. Okay, great. So you have a link to that. So how to design, develop, and also distribute marketing tips. So you'll be getting those playbooks. So everyone will get a playbook. We have some. If you want one, you come talk to us. And there's free resources. Also, we can potentially provide UX reviews and give you access to mentors. So if you're interested in learning more, you can go to g.co/launch and learn more about all the resources we have for startups. And lastly, I wanted to talk about Google Launchpad. This is a program we've launched. It was first in Tel Aviv, Israel. Basically, it's a 5-day boot camp for early stage startups before they get funding. And we ran this in Berlin. I went to the Berlin one. And the focus is really on mentoring. So Each day is a different topic. If the topic is UX, UI, then we have presentations in the morning, and then you get one-on-one mentoring with mentors throughout the rest of the day. So this, I'll show you a video from Berlin. We're hoping to expand this next year. So I don't have details on where or when, but we really are pushing to start having these Launchpad events next year. How many of you guys have Lollipop on your phones? Yeah, okay, great. So you've already experienced some of this, so recommend hopefully you upgrade and can see that on your phone. All of the apps like Gmail and in the Play Store, everything have been upgraded, and you can see material design, which is great. It's really cool. I really like it. And basically, it was just a compilation of what you already saw on the first couple of slides, just the motion and what material design looks like. But another important thing to remember is that design equals communication. And UI design is all about communicating information. So that's why design is just not a nice to have. It's actually essential in how you're communicating your brand and your product. So design is really important, and day-to-day design and look and feel, and also even design in terms of clothes, the clothes you wear to work, it's communicating a message. And also design is obviously communicating your brand, so it's really important to think about design when you're building your products. So I'll talk about the properties of static content and just go over a few quickly. So typography, this is very important and something we thought a lot about. So this is one of the tools available, and really in terms of typography, one way that we're thinking about it is if you look at a newspaper from far away, you can even see what's most important at the top. So what's at the top, the headline will be bolded, bigger font, and then the less important information is smaller font, less bolded. So that's really how we thought of typography as well, and it's really important to get that right. So that's another important factor in material design. Real-time shadows and elevation. So this is also very important. You know, it comes the shadows just make it clear what information is relevant, and it comes towards you when you click on it and gives you the information that you need right at that time, and it comes towards you and provides a bit of a shadow in the background. So this is all important in material design as well. Surfaces and shadows as well, and also this is what I mentioned earlier in terms of the that accent of color, making it if you're looking at Gmail, for example, the compose button will be a bright red, and that pops up. So it's just showing that accent of color and the different layers. It's really like paper on top of each other. That's really how we're thinking about it. Color obviously is very important, bold colors, to really engage with the users and also to basically to compartmentalize different things. But obviously color is really essential. I already mentioned this, but the contrast, that accent of color. Alignment as well in terms of aligning information or sections that are relevant to one specific topic and what you expected to do. And so there's two columns here. Everything on the right, it's clear, it's all relevant to each other, and so aligned accordingly. Proximity as well. So when you are clicking on, you want to call back your friend and you click on it, then it pops up and comes closer to you, and that's what's most relevant to you, and that's what you expect as a user. You click on it and it just pops up, literally comes closer to you. And you can see that with the shadow. So proximity is also very essential with material design. And imagery as well. It's, as I mentioned with imagery before, it's not just a nice to have, it's also a very important way of communicating your brand. So it's important to get the imagery right. Also, so animations. So the meaningful and delightful motion, I like that description of it. But really, it's important when you're thinking of the motions that you're really providing meaning, and it's very clear what's going to happen next, because that really builds trust with the users. When they press on a button to provide the feedback that they actually pressed a button, you can see like this little ripple motion coming from it, giving feedback to the user that, yes, you're acknowledging that they pressed the button, and this is what's happening next. So therefore building trust with the user. And therefore avoiding confusion when you make it very clear, and focusing on the details here. So actually this is what the video is really showing as well. Animation as well. So these are the animations in Android 5. And it's available on the Lollipop release. So as you can see here, it's all the transitions are very clear, very active, and very visual. And there's the ripple effect that I mentioned when you press a button and it kind of expands. And there's path-based animation. So it's all very clear what's happening next, and you're getting the feedback that you expect to receive. And we've also integrated already into Gmail and Google Music already. So if you have Lollipop, you're already seeing this. So that's I wanted to give you just an overview. If you want to learn more, please go to the developers site. And here are some resources, but we can email these out to you afterwards. And if you have any questions as well, feel free to come talk to me, but we can send this all out to you if you want to dig a bit deeper. So that's it for me on material design. Thank you.